up, ladies and gentlemen? It's Scott here with the Scott Wyatt Podcast, and this is the Christmas Eve special. I have a special guest here with me. This is my wife, Stephanie Phares. How
Hi.
are you feeling?
Good.
All right. How was the workout we just got done doing here?
Oh, pretty dandy.
All right. That's what I like to hear. Yeah, we just got back from the gym and had our third Christmas so far this year today?
Something like that. Yeah.
We had your grandparents in Tennessee, my grandparents in Whitehall the day after, and then your grandma Sherry today.
That's three.
Yep,
Yeah.
3, and then we got 3 more on Christmas Day. We're going to be doing 6 this year. It is going to be awesome. All right, so as promised and delivering right now, we are doing a question and answer. We're going to get her going here. Stephanie is going to be your voice, folks, that have asked the questions. She will say who the name is and then read the question to me, and I will answer it to the best of my lack of ability or the betterment of. How you like
boy.
that?
Oh, boy.
Instead of say to the best of my ability
Here we
and the
go.
lack thereof. See, I'm just telling you, sometimes you speak in riddles. So, all right, let's fire it away. What's the first question you got?
First question from Justin Icety.
All
What
right.
are your favorite type of guitar picks and why?
Oh, shoot. I wish
don't
I
even
had
know
one
the
with
name,
me.
do you?
I know what they look like. They're Dunlap guitar picks. They're red, and they have a tortoise on them. And they're .45 gauge. And so, yeah.
You can find them in
Hey,
the dishwasher.
You hear that in the background? I can hear it in my headphones. You don't have headphones on. That's my dog, the Big Burn, getting a guzzle of water back there. Yeah. So yeah, the Dunlap red guitar picks, .45 gauge. It's
Why?
tortoise on them. Why? Because they don't feel super like plasticky, like a regular like plastic. They don't feel like a plastic. I'm trying to say here. Like they don't feel like just like a piece of plastic in your hand. They have kind of like, I won't say like a fuzzy feeling on them, but they just feel, I don't know. I just like the texture of them. It's a different texture. It's not just like a straight plastic feel like a lot of guitar picks.
All right, next one. Justin Icety. Who is your favorite author?
My favorite author, that is a great question. I would say Rhonda Byrne because of the book The Secret, because that changed my life a lot and is one of my favorite books to this day, but she is not my favorite. My favorite author is a guy named Michael Conley. He, a lot of you guys know the movie The Lincoln Lawyer. That was one of his book series. He has another one about a detective named Harry Bosch that is my favorite. There's like, I think he's on his 20th or 21st book in the series now. I'm kind of behind on it now. But yeah, I love Michael Conley. He is an amazing, amazing author.
All right.
Fiction.
Favorite wrestler? Asked by also Justin Icety.
Favorite wrestler
Yes.
all time or current?
Just says, who is your favorite? Oh, sorry, wrestler of all time.
Of all time? Okay, all time, Triple H. That is my favorite wrestler. I think he is the man. He's had an amazing career and then wound up marrying the boss's daughter, and now he is second or third man in charge there. Second. I think Stephanie's third and Vince is first.
Okay. Oh, yeah. Elizabeth Matthews asks, has married life made any changes to your music career?
Has it made any changes to my
Speak
music career?
wisely.
Yeah, no, that's a good question.
I'm kidding.
Has it made any changes? I wouldn't say any drastic changes. I mean, the only thing that's different is the amount of time and when I spend the time, but that's just what happens when you have somebody else in your life.
More time on your music.
In recent years,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, especially this past year, especially. Yeah, a lot earlier too. So, but yeah, no major changes. Just kind of switching up on how I spend my time and where I spend it is, and then that's just life is time management, and it's great to have all these wonderful people in my life that I didn't have before. So, I went from a smaller family to I now have a family where I have to sit down and think of everybody's names for a minute because there's so many people. It's a beautiful thing though. So no, yeah, it's been all good changes.
Drew Riley asks, how did you get so big of muscles?
Drew Riley, the man behind Bait Street Lights in Root House. Such a beautiful thing. They've been doing there for a long time. Drew, how did I get such big muscles? I remember one time I saw Drew at a North Green Spartans game, and I shook his hand and said hi to him, and later on he shot me a message and said, man, he's like, when you shook my hand, it was like an iron vice grip. He's like, my hand's still hurting. He's always, how did I get such big muscles? By eating too much and not working out enough.
He goes to the gym every day, people. Every day. Bobby Bechtold asks, what are your top favorite books, songs, and sayings? There's
okay, we'll go with the first one. What's the first one? Favorite books?
Top 5 favorite books.
Woo, that's going to be tough without sitting here and thinking about it. My top 5 favorite books of all time. I'm actually going to start off with the one that I'm finishing up reading right now that I love the most. It's called, not the most, but just love a lot. It's called The Motivation Manifesto. It is an amazing read. If you're stuck at any point in life or career or whatever, I would recommend you read it. It'll teach you a lot about motivation. I'll give you a little key. Action creates motivation. Motivation does not create action. So top 5, that's 2. 2, like I spoke earlier, The Secret by Rhonda Byrne. Book changed my life. I've read it 7-8 times now. I'll pick a Michael Conley book. I could just fill them all up with Michael Conley books, but I don't want to do that. I'll pick The Black Box by Michael Conley. Speaking of The Black Box, funny story. Do you remember working at the nursing home in the therapy room at Whitehall Nursing Rehab whenever it was in the old...
When it was on the other side.
Yeah, and they were redoing the front, the front doorway, and I had to sit by the door because the alarms weren't working.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, just for a little backstory, me and Stephanie, we both worked at the same nursing home years ago. Well, years ago. It was. I can say years ago because it's been more than 2. But yeah, I was working down there and sitting down there. I sat down there for 8 hours, 8-hour shift, just watching the door, letting people in and out. And then in the meantime, I would sit there at the table, and that's whenever I had bought a book and I wasn't interested in reading. I just needed something to do to fill my time because I couldn't sit there on my phone all day. And I bought a book at the old Alco that was in Whitehall called The Black Box by Michael Conley, and that's how I got introduced to Michael Conley and fell in love with all of his work. So there's 3 books so far. 4th one, I'd say The School of Greatness by Lewis Howes was fantastic. And number 5, what would be a good 5 one? Unshakable by Tony Robbins. Okay. What's
the song's top
5 favorite songs? All right, these are my top 5 favorite songs. I'm not going to name them in order because it just depends on the day. Definitely Please Come to Boston, Walkin' in Memphis, Old Lang Syne by Dan Fogelberg. Definitely got to throw in a Junior Varsity song on there. I would say
that was not me.
That was the dog snorting. Hang on a second, Bern. We're almost done here. She was begging for attention. There's so many good Junior Varsity songs. Junior Varsity is one of my favorite bands of all time. I'm going to say What It Meant to Be Clean by the Junior Varsity. And what's that? Let's see, 1, 2, 3, that's 4. And, Come On Over to My Place by Dave Loggins. So we can make love. Okay.
And top 5 sayings.
Top 5 sayings? Sayings like quotes or...
It doesn't specify.
Okay, we'll do like saying/quotes. One of my quotes that I say all the time that I didn't realize till it got pointed out to me now. I realize it every time I say it, and it is, I tell you what. And another favorite saying. That's not really a saying, that's just a phrase, but we'll use it. My second favorite one, I used it the other day. It's not what I say all the time, it's what I mean. What's another good saying? Oh, yeah. Take her easy. And if she's easy, take her twice. Okay, there's 3.
And HBO.
Oh, yeah, I always say, I cash in my HBO policy. Help a brother out. Is there any more? What's that one? 5. Need one more. Let's see here. That was about 4 seconds of dead air. Hopefully you wake up if you're listening to this. Another saying. Actually, I'll end it with a quote, a great quote from my first time in my second college. After I dropped out the first time, I walked in Lewis and Clark College radio broadcasting class. Life is 10% of what happens to you and 90% of how you react to it. All right.
Okay, Carla Phares.
That's my mama.
Hello, mother-in-law. How do you remain so positive and stress-free while managing your busy schedule?
How do I remain positive and stress-free? I wouldn't say I'm stress-free because that's unrealistic. I would say years ago, through reading and paying attention to how I feel at different times, basically, come here, Bert. Yeah. Let me pick up my dog here so she can sit up here and get in on the action. I was putting a lot of my energy into other things that was stressing me out and things like that. So instead of putting my energy into all those things that kind of make me feel stressed, I tried to put that energy into things on the positive side, like things for my health, whether it be mental, physical, my music career, my healthcare career, everything. That's how I try to be conscious of how I feel at all times, which is not always easy. And I try to focus on how I react to situations, which that's an everyday practice, folks. And positive. There's only one way to be. I know what it's like to be on the other side, and it's very important to remember the little things in life that you're grateful for and practice gratitude on a daily basis. That's I like meditation helps. So yeah, those are some of the things. Just off the top of my head, I could do a whole podcast on that.
Ready for the next one?
Sure.
Here we go. Todd Stats. Who's going to win the Super Bowl?
Oh, Todd. Who's going to win it? It's going to be my New Orleans Saints facing the Kansas City Chiefs. And the Saints are going to win by a touchdown.
It's kind of sad for your Vikings.
Yeah, well, you know what? Their offensive coordinator screwed up their season. They may turn it around. Who knows? I mean, I've seen things turn around.
Mm-hmm. All right. Jessica Stetson. When are you having me some babies?
Well,
congratulations also on the twins. Yes, we're super excited.
Yes, Jesse having twins. I tell you what, the name Scott 1, Scott 2, maybe. I'm always up for people naming their kids after me. I think that would be pretty cool. Since I can't do that to my own kids whenever I have them because it's confusing. When am I going to have kids? Whenever the good Lord blesses me with it, or maybe, who knows, that stork that we all saw as cartoons as kids might come popping up at the door, here in a couple days. But yeah, hopefully sooner than later. Let's put it that way.
And along with that, so Justin Icety, if you had twins, would you name them Shake and Bake?
Oh, two of my best friends back to back. My name is Shake and Bake. No, like I said earlier, I'll probably name them Itch and Scratch, or you tell them, Burns. Well, goodness. I would say, I don't know if I had to pick two like normal names. That's kind of putting me on the spot.
No, I don't think he asked for names. He just said, would you name him Shake and Bake?
Oh, no.
Okay. All right, Mike Gentry. Who really screwed Brett?
All right, Mike Gentry. That's a good question. Let's see here. Oh, yeah. Well, I'm going to explain this to you, Stephanie, as well as the listeners here. Who screwed Brett? That's a wrestling term. Bret Hart, the wrestler.
Oh, yeah, Bret the Hitman.
That's right. He was in WWF, and his contract was up, and he was still WWF champion. And then Vince McMahon lied to him and said he was going to win the match, and Shawn Michaels got him in the sharpshooter. And Vince McMahon had the referee ring the bell like Bret Hart tapped out, and he never did. Bret Hart didn't want to lose his title in his hometown of Calgary, and he did, without actually tapping out. I think it was a mixed bag. I think that Vince screwed Brett, but it screwed up Brett since. I think I think he really felt betrayed by it. But I'm on Bret Hart's side on that.
Justin Daniels, when can we get you to Murfreesboro, Tennessee for a show? We'll start with that one. Go ahead.
Yeah, I would love to. I'd come to Murfreesboro anytime, brother. I've yet to meet Justin. I've known him since the MySpace days.
How far is that from Nashville? We go down.
Oh, like 20 minutes maybe.
Oh, well.
20 or 30 maybe.
There you go.
Yeah, my Uncle Gary used to live there. yeah, if we can work something up, heck, let's do
Well,
it.
because he wants to know when that Scott Phares old music EP comes out.
Oh, yeah. Well, I haven't got to that point in the podcast, but for me, you guys listeners know that my real name is Scott Phares, Phares. And before I got into the country music side of things, I had a full other career as Scott Joseph Phares, SJP, my original name. Well, that is my birth name. It's still my name now. But Scott Wyatt is a stage name. But there'll be a whole other episode where we'll talk about that more in detail. That release date, it will be around the beginning of February. I haven't announced it yet, so right here it is, the beginning of February. We already got the cover art ready and the tracks almost ready. I'm still digging up a few. I got 2 more to find, and then we'll get all rolling.
Cool.
Yep.
So what's better, ASL or Fire and Adrenaline? I don't know what that is. Adrenaline? No, Adrian. Oops.
Fire and Adrian. Well, I won't go into explaining the title of that. Well, I'll be for another time.
Answer it for Mr. Justin here.
Yeah, what's better of the 2 songs? That's kind of a flipped thing for me. Fire and Adrian did wonders for my music career. It's my first song I ever had on any kind of radio station. It was big on the college stations. It got me on a lot of different shows. And ASL was a very... I remember it being just a very personal song to me. So, I mean, all of them songs those times were, but I would say out of the 2, ASL is probably my favorite personally out of the 2, but they both were great in different ways. So,
have you listened to old 97s? Does that go along with that last question, or is that completely separate? Have you listened to old 97s?
No, I believe that is a band, and I may check that out tonight during halftime of the Sunday Night Football game if I can. Maybe I'll see what it's all about.
Okay, Justin Icety, your wife is a pumpkin spice crazy person. Yes, I am.
Yeah.
So what's your crazy?
What's my crazy?
That's what he wants to know.
I don't know if I'm that crazy about, like, if I had to pick like a spice or something, but just my crazy, yeah, because you like all the pumpkin stuff, anything freaking pumpkin. I would say my crazy is either wrestling or football, really. What would you say? You live with me.
I mean, well, wrestling's an all year long crazy,
Yeah.
but you just got that football crazy for a few months.
Yeah.
So.
I have any other kind of crazies that you want?
Kind of crazy. I don't know about crazy, but no, I don't know. Maybe you're driving. Oh, that's a good one. Yep, that's your kind of crazy.
She thinks I'm a
driving
horrible
like
driver.
a maniac.
I'm not a bad driver. She doesn't know what she's talking about.
Well, when the light turns yellow and you slow down, and then you're like,
Yeah.
oh, never mind, I'm gonna go. Oh.
Yeah, have you ever heard of basketball, like a pump fake? Like you're gonna act like you're gonna shoot and then you shoot?
Yeah.
That's what it is. It's a pump
Well,
fake during driving.
I don't know if driving is a game, but
Life is a game. It's all how you play if you
Alright.
play your cards right. See? There's a song in that. Life is like a game. You just gotta play your cards right.
oh boy.
Maybe. That was a horrible one. Is that all?
That's all the questions.
That is all the
Yeah.
questions. Okay. Do you have any questions for me?
Do I have any? Wow.
Putting you on the spot here.
Yeah. Let me go and make sure we don't have any more questions.
All right. I appreciate you guys tuning in here, and I just want to let you guys know while she's checking a couple things out. I want to let you guys know I appreciate all of you guys that have checked out my Christmas album, Dakota. It's been doing really well. I've seen the Spotify numbers come in, not the iTunes ones yet, but I appreciate all your love and support, as well as people that got the CDs in the mail. And yeah.
Ooh, I want to know,
Yeah.
when are you going to write a song about me?
I have written a song about you. I put it at our wedding, you goof. But I record. Here's what I did. Fellas, listen up. This is how you do it. If you write a song for your wife, I went in before we got married into the chapel, and then I had her brother record me playing it acoustically in the chapel where we was going to get married later on that day.
Romantic.
I know. And and then at the what's that called? Oh, the reception. I surprised her and came out and played it there too. Yeah.
Got a little show that night.
So you answered your question.
Yeah, I did. I know she's kidding.
No.
All right, that's all.
That's all you got?
Thanks for having me.
Yeah. Alrighty. Well,
In the burn.
yeah.
Special guest.
All right. Well, we hope you all have a very Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas,
and
guys.
Lots of love to y'all. Now, as Dave Chappelle would say, now get out there and be somebody.